Yes, my lady, the application for leave is perhaps precipitated by our response, where we have addressed the issues comprehensively and we have fully and frankly disclosed.
You have?
My lady, we have responded to all the issues comprehensively. And my lady, contrary to the position taken by the petitioner, we have fully and frankly disclosed to courts material facts which are very, very critical, my lady. And briefly, I want to lay basis of those material facts because I want to make an application. I want to make a different application. I'm not arguing the application, my lady. I want to lay down the material facts so I can make a different application. They have requested for leave to file a further response. That's a fair enough. I have a different application to make. So I want to briefly lay basis for my application. My lady, briefly, and if you can see from that affidavit, the affidavit filed by, signed by Farida Idris Mohammed.
I don't have, I'm not privy to it because
yeah, I'm just laying basis for a simple application I want to make.
It's not, the affidavit is not been downloaded.
Oh, it's okay. Very well, my lady. I think I can just then point out and ensure the copies in the court file based on the pleadings filed in court then. My lady, if you look at the petition filed before you, especially the chamber summons application, it is filed by a gentleman known as Dunstan Igonji. Yeah, it's both the petition and the application. Dunstan Ingoi Majanja. My lady, from the facts disclosed in this application, Farida Idris Mohammed, the second, the first respondent, my lady, for over 10 years, lived as husband and wife to a gentleman known as Hussein Amaro. They lived for 10 years together.
Known as Hussein?
Hussein Amaro. My lady, they later on invested money in a company known as InnerServe Solutions Limited, the second respondent. And my lady, I'm just laying basis for a very simple application I want to make for mediation. So my lady, they had
InnerServe or Innocence?
Yeah, it's called Innocence. Yeah, Innocence Solutions Limited. It's the second respondent, my lady. So my lady, of course, my lady things didn't work out, then they disagreed. But of course, my lady, let me just point out here that Dunstan Majanja perhaps never listened to the advice of the sages.
Yeah?
My lady, I'm submitting that perhaps at this point in time, I need to point out that Dunstan Majanja never listened to the advice of the sages. Which is that, my lady, and I want to quote from a very important song. My lady, it goes as follows. That maisha ni mlima, maisha ni mlima. Bibi na bwana wakigombana nyumbani, Uwacha wenyewe mpaka wakaelewana, ukiwaingililia wakipatana, utabaki nani we mtoto wa mama. My lady, those are the words of the sages. Unawacha wenyewe wakipatana, utabaki na nani? Mtoto wa mama. Danstan Majanja, who is not related to my good friend David Majanja. So my lady, because of that conflict between the two, Majanja then got in and acquired shares without the knowledge of Farida. The shares owned by Mr. Amaro. But because of the family nature of this dispute, it went to mediation. And that's where I want to bring in the point. My lady, it went to mediation by the family members, together with a gentleman known as Mr. Amaro, who is works at TACC, a brother to Mr. Amaro, where they had an audit report.
The matter went to mediation.
Yes, it went to mediation, my lady. My lady, it went to mediation in a family setting. My lady, a solution which the two then agreed upon was arrived at. My lady, subsequently, there was further conflict because of mistrust. And then, my lady, what is more critical here is that 2 cases were filed in the commercial division of this High Court. My lady, this is a fact which I said was never disclosed here.
Perhaps, my lady, at this point, given that...
I'm not going into the details, I'm just laying basis for another mediation, my lady.
David is not before the court. Perhaps you can take directions on mediation.
Yes, I'm just laying basis, I'm not going into the details. I'm scratching the surface, my lady, and even may continue to scratch the surface. So, my lady, given the nature of this kind of dispute, where the prayers which the plaintiff, the petitioner is asking for, are already contained in certain documents, my request is that it may be important, my lady, it may be important.
They are contained?
My lady, they are contained in documents which are already filed in other cases in this court. For example, my lady, let me just point out, you have an evaluation report. If you look at their pleadings, they're asking for evaluation report. My lady, you issue evaluation, an order for evaluation, yet you have an evaluation report already in the file. Because of that, my lady, and the family dynamics of this issue, my sincere request is that, picking up from the authority of this court in Article 159 of the Constitution to promote ADR, including mediation, my sincere request, my lady, is that my colleague can be granted leave to file his further response, perhaps maybe within 14 days. And then, my lady, a default order is issued that after that, the parties go to mediation by a mediator appointed by the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators.
You're saying a default?
And a default order issued that after that, the parties go to mediation before an arbitrator appointed by the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators in Kenya.
Go for mediation?
Before an arbitrator appointed by the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators in Kenya. And then, my lady, perhaps that mediation, we can come back to court within 30 days. So we are looking at now 44 days. 30 days for a mention for this court to receive the arbitrator's report, the mediator's report. Then I believe thereafter, my lady, you can then exercise your judicial authority to give further directions. My lady, those are my sincere prayers. Thank you very much.